Poplar plantations, as we know them today, are a 20th century European innovation that's destined to reach a high point this century due to the outstanding qualities of poplar trees. This intensive forestry protects rivers and ensures their water quality, produces high-grade timber ideal for meeting the world's wood requirements, and provides numerous benefits both for society in general and for those who live nearby. It's no coincidence that the Populus genus is known as the people's tree. Many parts of Spain have optimum conditions for poplar plantations. To grow well, poplars need abundant light, water, and alluvial land. Wherever these three factors coincide, poplars will grow in excellent conditions of health. In Castile and León, for example, the dry summer climate and heavy winter frosts prevent disease and infestation. The expertise we've gained in growing poplars and our first-rate wood processing facilities have enabled us to take poplar in the form of plywood to specialist markets throughout the world. Since the early 1990s, poplar plantations have increased in Spain and other parts of Europe due to the rising demand for this wood. Spain has 137,000 hectares of poplar plantations. Castile and León, with 85,000 hectares, is Spain's largest poplar growing region, as it has more than 60% of the country's plantations. This area could be more than doubled, considering the suitability of the land, the market potential, and the return on investment. All that's needed for this goal to become a reality is a boost from all the stakeholders involved. It's estimated that Spain has around 100,000 poplar growers and that the associated industry has created approximately 11,000 jobs. Poplars can reach a height of 40 meters and are very fast growing. The characteristics of poplar wood are very similar to those of light tropical species, such as okume and ilomba, and are therefore highly regarded by the timber market. Because poplar is easy to peel and modern growing techniques have been applied to plantations, the yield and the quality of poplar wood have increased. Today, poplars are grown intensively to produce plywood boards that are highly sought after in industries such as furniture, flooring, fruit boxes, caravans and yachts, to name just a few. Even the less valuable waste is used, whether it's branches from poplar plantations or wood chips from industrial processes, accounting for 40% of production. Some of the waste is applied in the wood-based panels and cellulose industry, and some is used for energy production. Research has recently focused on the possibility of producing energy from poplar biomass, after the success of energy crops in Sweden and the United Kingdom. However, changes in aid policies in the renewable energy sector have made this unfeasible. The first step in creating a productive poplar plantation is choosing the right land. Poplar plantations are located on soil that's alluvial, deep and homogeneous, where the pH is not too high and water is readily available, generally near the area of influence of rivers. Before planting, the land's prepared by removing any felling waste and uprooting stumps. Nothing is wasted. Wood chippers are used to process the waste. Once the land's been prepared, planting begins. although the first step is to select the clone from an official nursery to ensure the quality and provenance of plants. The clones most commonly used in Spain are Beaupré, I214, MC, Unal and Raspaille. The choice of clone is essential for the success of the plantation. Spacing is normally 6 by 6 or 278 poplars per hectare. In Castile and León, this layout produces trees with 33 centimeter breast height diameter in 15 years, which means that each tree contains approximately 1 cubic meter of wood for peeling. From the air, the perpendicular lines show the plot layout. Depending on the hydrographic features of the plot, planting is either shallow or deep-rooted. Shallow root planting is more frequent in the area of the Ebro River, where the phreatic level is a long way from the surface, and deep root planting is typical in Castile and León. Unlike shallow root planting, which is at a maximum depth of 1 meter, deep root planting is carried out with a backhoe, as long as the phreatic level is at least 4 meters from the surface in summer. This system avoids the risk of water stress by ensuring plants always have water, an essential element of poplar survival. When planting's finished, the young poplars start to grow, eager for water and nutrients, although the work's only just begun. In spring and summer, harrowing is performed to prevent the risk of fire, and any potential competitor species are removed. Pruning is the most important treatment once planting is completed. The quality of the wood obtained, and therefore the return on the investment in the plantation, depends on appropriate pruning. The aim is to achieve straight, clean stems to obtain as much usable timber as possible for the peeling industry, where returns are highest. During the first 3 years, the young plants are trained. The 4th and 5th years are primarily spent clearing the stem, with less emphasis on training the plant. Pruning is not normally carried out after the 6th year. This process ensures at least 3 meters of clear tree stem at an early age, and 6 meters of clear stem in adult trees at harvesting. Pruning must leave the tree with enough branches so it can continue to grow normally. If a tree is over-pruned, it becomes deformed, leading to malformation of the trunk and regrowth in the pruned area, the opposite of the desired effect. As a general rule, trees are left with at least 2/3 of their branches. In response to pruning, the poplars attempt to balance their leaf area by sprouting dormant buds on the trunk. This gives rise to suckers, which must be removed to avoid a loss of quality in the wood. While the poplars grow, technicians in charge of the plantation monitor tree development to estimate as accurately as possible the real return on the plantation. At the same time, they look out for and treat any infestations that might attack the poplars. Harvesting, normally conducted when trees are 10 to 16 years old, and subsequent timber production are part of rural development in Spain and also provide major environmental benefits. Timber production is not the only use for this species. Because of their physiology and rapid growth, poplars have also been used in habitat restoration experiments. Near the water, alongside the naturally occurring forest, this poplar plantation grows very quickly, shaping the riverbanks and allowing easy routing for rivers during flash flooding. Perfectly laid out, the poplars and their deep roots reinforce riverbank soil, filter and absorb the fertilizers brought by runoff from nearby crops, and prevent the highly undesirable eutrophication of rivers. One day they'll be harvested and used by the timber industry, or they could be processed into energy. Meanwhile, the river that nourishes the trees follows its course, irrigating the land and colouring it green on its way to the sea. Poplar growing has become a driving force for rural development. Spain has suitable land for planting and growing poplars, trees that produce quality timber and, while they're part of the plantation, have a role as a protective forest.